Well, welcome to this episode of the DCC Daily Podcast. My name is Delaney Stoner, and I serve as the Families Director at Downtown Community Church. Today, I have the opportunity to share with you a story of Christ-centered life change, or CCLC for short. Last January, the Families Ministry launched its first ever youth group. We call it a youth group, but really it is more like a small community group for middle schoolers. Luke and I started off meeting with these students each week at Chick-fil-A in order to get to know them. I learned all kinds of things about these students. I learned one of them loves Vampire Diaries, one loves musicals, and that we all have a favorite Hollywood Chris. We all talked about our favorite pizza place in town. I taught them about feather extensions, which are making a comeback, by the way. And all five of us played the most epic game of apples to apples I have ever played in my life. I never knew flesh-eating bacteria could be so hilarious, but something about these three students and the North Monroe Chick-fil-A made it that way. After weeks of playing silly games and getting to know these students, we got to start our first series called It's Personal. I got to spend 5 weeks with the students talking about how Jesus desires to have a personal relationship with them. From it came the coolest conversations. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my Sunday morning kiddos, but there is something so insanely amazing about having a conversation with middle schoolers about Jesus. They're able to process the teaching on a whole different level and in turn end up teaching you something new about Jesus. I began to see Jesus through their eyes and saw him in a new, glorious way. Matthew 17:20 says, "He said to them, 'Because of your little faith, for truly I say to you, if you have faith like a grain of mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you.'" When I think of this verse, I think of how I saw Jesus through these middle schoolers. Not that they have little faith, but instead how they are developing their own independent faith, and it is starting to take root. They're asking hard questions, clarifying questions, and sharing every thought in between. For those of you listening who didn't have faith in middle school, how different would it have been for you if you saw mountains in your life move then like you see them move now? I know having that type of faith would have drastically, dynamically changed my middle and high school years. These middle schoolers have been such a blessing to my life each week. As ill-equipped as I feel to lead them sometimes, I'm so thankful for the time I get to spend with them talking about Jesus. I've gotten to celebrate these students, and each week gives me another opportunity to see them the way God has made them to be. And watch out, DCC. We had a graduation last week, so we officially have a high schooler. God is going to do big things in this little group, and I cannot wait to see the life change that comes from it. Thank you for listening to this episode of DCC Daily. Keep up with our church via our social media pages, our YouTube channel to access previous sermons, and our Sunday services, both in person and online. If you're interested in being a leader for the DCC Youth Group, please email me at delaney@dcctally.com.